Hello, 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 and welcome to another edition of the NCCR podcast. My name is DeVandis Smith. Alongside me is the great one. She needs no introduction, but I will introduce her anyway. She's a mother of three, the wife of one, a fierce Tacomian, one that you
All
don't want to
true.
mess with because she carries a blade, the blade and the sword of truth. This woman
I
will
don't
hit
have
you
the
with
blade on me
it.
today.
How you doing, friend?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. You know, Kim, it's great. I had a great weekend. My Tigers pulled a game out
hmm
that hey, I thought we was going down, but hey, we pulled it off.
I believe the Huskies did not fare as well.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but
Oh,
yeah,
it's okay. Everybody
yeah.
knows.
Purple gaze, purple and gold.
Purple
You know,
days is more like it. Or haze, to quote Jimi
they'll
Hendrix.
bounce back, and we'll keep it
I
going.
don't know.
We'll keep it going. All right, Kim. Hey guys, one thing real quick. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Stay up to date. And you know what's going on. And that number is right there. 425-320-1512. Give us your take on the show.
That's
How
Devandis's
we do.
burner phone, just in case you were wondering.
You're telling too much, man. Come on,
Overshare.
man. Come on. You gotta feed him a little bit. All right, Pastor Steve continuing his guardrail series,
Mhm.
and today's topic that we're talking about is his sermon title, "Equip and Release."
Or as we like to call it, catch and release.
Catch and release.
If you're a fisher person,
Yeah.
you might be familiar with that.
And I was thinking of Drew.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Yeah.
visualized Drew.
He does a lot of
tripping
catch
down
and
the
release.
river, catching fish, and just like, okay, I'm releasing.
Yeah, takes a picture
you
with
know.
it, puts it back in the water.
But it's I wonder if we had that thrill like Drew and the other fishermen have when they catch a fish,
Yeah, that's very exciting.
right? The
It's
second,
it's like, ooh, I got one.
but do we have that excitement? We're supposed to be fishermen, right?
You are so true on that one.
We
yeah.
do, we do.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a meeting and we was talking about some of the new people that was coming on board, and the whole team was just excited
Mm-hmm.
for those individuals.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we do have that excitement.
Yeah.
We do have that when someone give their life to Christ. They
Yeah.
say the angels in heaven rejoice. We rejoice also.
Well, every time there's a baptism, I kind of
Oh.
have to leave the room because I'm,
Yeah,
go find
you
a
get
Kleenex.
caught up. Yes,
it's
right?
just because I remember that for me, and it's very exciting.
It
is
is.
very exciting.
is.
I love
It
those
is.
baptism Sundays.
Yes.
Yeah.
My sister sent me pictures of my brother. He was at the altar. And
Oh.
so
Just this last week?
yes.
Wow.
Yes. And
That's
so
amazing.
It is. It
That's
is.
really amazing.
Yes. And so
Good job.
I was excited. I was
Mhm.
excited. So
That's great.
yeah, man. Yeah. All right, Kim.
Okay.
Let's get into this here. Catch and release.
Mhm.
When you hear that, I know we touched on it just a little bit, but what really resonate with you on this sermon?
Well, the instruction to go out and do what I've been doing, what you've been walking through with me, go out and spread the good news
Mm-hmm.
and specific instructions on how to do that.
Yeah.
Which squirrel, I thought about instructions, and these seem pretty straightforward. So I want to encourage all of us to not get in the weeds on this, because I immediately thought of an IKEA furniture directional booklet. Like, you always have to read, you have to read the whole thing, or
Yeah.
look at the pictures the
Yeah.
whole way through, lay out all the things. And even then, they don't appear to be correct when you've completed your piece 100% of the time. So I think compared to IKEA, the instructions given here are crystal clear.
They are crystal clear, but to your IKEA analogy, we humans, we muck it up.
We
I
do.
think that's the reason why we have so many denominations now, is because we misinterpret,
Mm-hmm.
over
Mm-hmm.
interpret
Yes,
the simple thing.
because we want it to make it our thing,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
God's thing.
Yeah.
God tells us exactly what to do
Mhm.
100% of the time,
Yes.
and when we get sideways, that's a us thing.
Yeah, we muck it up.
Yes.
You know, because it's like like you were saying, simple instructions. Go.
Yeah. Go and do
Tell
the
the
thing
good
I've been
news.
telling you this
And-
whole time.
And that
Share.
multiplication will take place.
Yes.
The 12 in here, Pastor Steve talk about the 72.
Mm-hmm.
Then you continue to read in Acts 120,
Mhm.
then 3,000.
Mhm.
You know, if you go and do the simple thing that
That's
he said
being
to do.
replicated correctly.
Yes, yes. And, you know,
Unlike my dresser that has a panel that's on backwards.
or
It still works.
or
It just
what does this
it just doesn't look right.
what does this boat go to?
Why do I have 3 leftover things? Or 3 short of the things?
Yeah.
Now I
yeah.
got to drive back to IKEA and get in their little free bins of missing parts.
Mm.
Because clearly this happens a lot.
Well,
I don't want to bash IKEA anymore, but
here's the thing, though, right? Just like IKEA, if you fail to do something, you have the book,
correct.
you have the app, you
True.
have it on the internet.
Well, somebody's on Facebook showing you how to do it.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so really, the instructions are clear,
They are clear.
you know, but every now and then, just need to reset and be like, okay, let me come back at this
Mm-hmm.
at a different angle, because every time you get into the Word, it always reveals something different to you,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
And about you.
and about you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I think too, because Steve touched on this, when we're equipped to go, but maybe you're equipped in a different way than, I'm going to do it different than you are.
Mhm.
Gifts are not the same, and that's perfectly fine. That's not me.
Sorry.
It's a nice chime though. But to not let that hinder your going forward,
Yes.
because we don't all have the same gift. It's the sports analogy. You're the equipment manager, the cheerleader, the coach, the
Mhm.
player. Without all of those parts playing nicely together, none of that's going to get done.
Yes.
And when we look at how we're going forward, it's the same concept. We don't all have the same gift, but that shouldn't stop us from
Going.
what the task at hand. Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of us wrestle or may wrestle and struggle with, well, what if they don't receive me or receive what I'm saying? You have to keep in mind, going back to the book,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus said, hey, it's not, if they don't receive you, it's not that they're not receiving you, they're not receiving me.
Right.
You know, okay.
Right.
They don't want to receive him. Okay. Maybe
And-
you're not the one to get that message to them,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Few months later, a few weeks later, years later, someone else can come
Right.
and say the same thing that you said, but say it differently, and they'd be more receptive to receive.
Yeah, and that comes down to that. How do we find leaders to continue the mission, and then how do we equip others for service?
Yes.
And you have to understand the audience to some degree.
Yes. Know the
'Cause-
audience.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I like, because we was talking about this earlier, and how the disciples, when they returned after Jesus sent them out, they all came back excited
Mm-hmm.
because they preached the good news.
Mm-hmm.
It was received some of the times. You know, you had some where they,
There's always
know,
somebody in the
yeah.
audience. It's a
but it alludes
Boo.
back to what we were talking about, how happy people are when they come to Christ, when you witness someone coming to Christ, when you
Mhm.
witness that baptismal. In the same way, the disciples, they was excited coming back and sharing their stories.
well, that's fuel in the tank,
Yeah.
right? That if you get a small or large victory, and
Mhm.
it pushes you forward to do that again,
Yeah.
because that's a
Mhm. Mhm.
that's a return on your investment that you can
Yes,
see
yes,
immediately,
yes.
which is pretty cool.
It's very encouraging.
Yeah, it's
and,
very
you know, like, hey,
encouraging.
you know what? I can go on. I can do this.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah.
What else you got there, Kim?
Well, I mean, I think when we use the word leader, that possibly can make people feel that's not me.
Mm.
I'm not a leader. I don't consider myself, I don't see myself that way, but somebody else might see you exactly that way and even say, what you led that really well, or I think you'd be a good leader. So I think when somebody shares that with you, you should be, you know, I should be open to those. I forget I'm supposed to say I things all the time. Open to those moments where somebody sees something in you that maybe you don't see in yourself.
And and another key part about being a leader, and as Steve was talking about, getting the illustration of his son working on his car and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And also I'm thinking about the chosen, the guy that's playing Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
how he would encourage his disciples, even though he could step in and do it, he chose not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're gonna have to learn and do this here on your own. You got it.
Yep.
Keep encouraging them,
Right.
even though you might want to step in and
Yes.
aid and assist them. No, 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 no.
Yeah.
Just be there, a sounding board,
Mm-hmm.
maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and let them plot that course for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, Kim.
Yep.
Is there anything you would like to leave with the audience?
Well, it's a why or why not question.
Why or why not? What is the
Do
question?
you see yourself as a leader?
Mm. Do you see
Slash
yourself
a coach
as a leader?
slash a fill in the blank, and then why or why not? Because if you do, that's great. And again, another sharing point for somebody who might be on the fence as to whether or not they are one or could be one. But
it lies within you. You can do it. You
yes.
can do it.
You can. What he said.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Tune in next week. We'll be right back on the same bat channel, same bat time.
Mm-hmm.
And be a leader. Get involved. You heard about the places to play. I encourage people.
Yeah. Ready, set, go.
AVM.
Oh, yes. Please.
And like we do about this time, we are